Welcome to Mindset Capital TV, where mindset meets money. This channel is built for thinkers, builders, and future leaders who understand that wealth starts in the mind. If you're ready to level up your thinking, your habits, and your income, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. The moment everything changes. Most people believe their income is determined by effort. Work harder. Stay longer. Try more. But what if that belief is the very thing holding them back? What if the reason your income hasn't changed isn't because you haven't worked hard enough, but because you've been thinking the same way the entire time? Tonight, we're not talking about motivation. We're talking about a shift. A mental shift, so subtle most people never notice it, yet powerful enough to permanently change how much money you earn. And once you see it, you'll never approach work, money, or opportunity the same way again. The invisible ceiling. There's an invisible ceiling that most people hit. Not in their career, not in their business, but in their thinking. They make just enough to survive, just enough to feel busy, just enough to believe they're on the way. But year after year, the number barely moves. Same income, same stress, same conversations. And, eventually, the conclusion feels obvious. This is just how much I'm worth. But that conclusion is wrong. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Income doesn't grow when effort increases. Income grows when value perception changes. Two people can work the same hours, have the same skills, even the same job, and earn wildly different amounts. The difference isn't luck. It's how they think about money, time, and leverage. Most people are taught one model of income. Time, work, pay. You show up. You perform tasks. You get paid. It feels logical. It feels fair. And it quietly caps your earning potential forever. Because time is finite. No matter how motivated you are, no matter how disciplined you become, there are only 24 hours in a day. And that's where the ceiling forms. High earners don't reject hard work. They reject linear thinking. They don't ask, how do I work harder? They ask, what am I being paid for? That single question changes everything. Because once you stop selling time, you start selling outcomes. And outcomes scale. This is the first mindset shift. Most people see money as a reward for effort. High earners see money as a response to value. Effort is internal. Value is external. Effort feels noble. Value gets paid. And the faster you understand this, the faster your income moves. But here's why this shift is rare. It's uncomfortable. Because it forces you to confront a painful idea. The world doesn't pay you for how hard you try. It pays you for how useful you are. Not how tired you feel. Not how busy you look. Not how much you sacrifice. Usefulness. And usefulness can be increased. This is where most people shut down. Because changing how you think about income means changing how you see yourself. Your skills. Your decisions. Your standards. It means realizing that effort alone is safe. But strategy is powerful. And once this realization hits, everything else starts to unravel. Why some people rise faster. Why some opportunities feel unfair. Why certain skills pay exponentially more. It was never about motivation. It was about how value flows through the system. In the next chapter, we're going to expose the most dangerous belief people hold about money. A belief that feels responsible, sounds mature, and quietly keeps incomes frozen for decades. Once you see it, you'll recognize it everywhere. The belief that keeps people stuck. Most people don't fail financially because they're lazy. They fail because they believe something that sounds responsible. That belief is this: if I just work hard and stay loyal, things will work out. It's comforting. It feels mature. And it quietly destroys earning potential. Because the marketplace doesn't reward loyalty. It rewards leverage. The belief that effort will be noticed keeps people waiting far longer than they should. Waiting for raises. Waiting for recognition. Waiting for permission. And while they wait, opportunities pass them by. The mindset shift begins when you realize no one is tracking your effort, only your output. In the next chapter, We'll reveal why being busy is one of the most expensive habits you can have. Busy doesn't mean valuable. Busyness is deceptive. It feels productive. It looks impressive. And it's often meaningless. High earners don't aim to stay busy. They aim to stay useful. They ask different questions. What problem does this solve? Who benefits from this? Is this replaceable? Low-income thinking focuses on tasks. High-income thinking focuses on outcomes. When you're paid for tasks, you're replaceable. When you're paid for outcomes, you're valuable. And value compounds. Next, we'll uncover why most people train themselves into low income without realizing it. How people train themselves to earn less. Every habit trains the market how to treat you. Accepting low pay trains people to undervalue you. Avoiding responsibility trains people to bypass you. Staying silent trains people to ignore you. Income is a reflection of perceived reliability under pressure. High earners don't just do their job. They absorb uncertainty. They take responsibility when others hesitate. They move toward problems instead of away from them. That's why they're trusted with more and paid more. Cliffhanger. Next, we expose the responsibility, income connection no one explains clearly. Responsibility is the real payday. Here's the rule most people never hear. Income grows in direct proportion to responsibility accepted. Not stress. Not hours. Responsibility. When you solve problems that affect many people, income scales. When you protect others from risk, income increases. That's why managers earn more than workers. Why owners earn more than managers. Why decision makers earn the most. They don't do more work. They carry more weight. Next, we'll explain why most people avoid responsibility and unknowingly cap their income. Why most people run from leverage. Leverage multiplies results, but it also magnifies mistakes. That's why people avoid it. They prefer certainty over growth. They choose safety over upside. But safety has a hidden cost. Stagnation. Leverage comes in forms. Skills at scale. Systems. People. Capital. Technology. The mindset shift is realizing, if my effort doesn't scale, my income won't. Cliffhanger. Next, we'll show how skills, not passion, create financial freedom. The skills that change income trajectories. High-paying skills share one trait. They solve expensive problems. Communication. Sales. Systems thinking. Technical leverage. Decision-making. These skills don't depend on motivation. They depend on practice and exposure. People don't get paid for effort learning skills. They get paid when those skills remove friction for others. That's why income jumps feel sudden, but are years in the making. Next, we'll reveal why confidence often follows income, not the other way around. Confidence is a byproduct. Most people think, once I feel confident, I'll earn more. High earners know the opposite. Once I become useful, confidence follows. Confidence is evidence. It's built through repetition, feedback, and results. Waiting to feel ready delays income indefinitely. Action precedes confidence. Next, we'll break down why fear disappears when value increases. Why fear fades as value rises. Fear is highest when you're replaceable. It fades when you become essential. When you know you can create value anywhere. Negotiation changes. Opportunities widen. Decisions accelerate. Income grows when dependence decreases. This is the freedom people confuse with motivation. It's not hype. It's competence. Cliffhanger. Next, we'll connect everything into the single mindset shift that permanently changes income. The shift that changes everything. Here it is, the shift in one sentence. Stop asking how hard you're working. Start asking how valuable you're becoming. Effort is personal. Value is market-based. When your identity shifts from worker to problem solver, income follows. Not instantly, but inevitably. In the next chapter, we'll show how to apply this shift immediately, even if you're starting from zero. This is where transformation becomes practical. Why starting from zero is an advantage. Starting from zero feels like a disadvantage. No connections. No capital. no leverage. But zero has a hidden benefit. You're not trapped by old identity. People stuck at the same income level aren't stuck because they lack opportunity. They're stuck because they're protecting who they used to be. Starting from zero forces one question. What actually works? No ego. No sunk costs. Just reality. This is why immigrants, outsiders, and late starters often rise faster. They don't defend old stories. They build new ones. Cliffhanger. Next, we'll expose why identity, not skill, is the real income bottleneck. Identity sets your income range. Income rarely exceeds identity. If you see yourself as just an employee, not a business person, bad with money, your decisions will protect that identity, even when it hurts you. High earners don't wait for permission to think differently. They decide who they are becoming, then act accordingly. Identity isn't motivation. It's alignment. Next, we'll reveal how decision-making speed separates high earners from everyone else. The speed of decisions. Low earners delay decisions. They gather more information. Wait for certainty. Ask for reassurance. High earners understand something crucial. Clarity comes after commitment, not before. They decide faster, not recklessly, but deliberately. Speed compounds. Missed decisions cost more than wrong ones. Next, we'll explain why problems are income accelerators. Problems are where money hides. Most people avoid problems. High earners move toward them. Every problem represents pain, friction, delay, confusion, and every solved problem creates value. Income grows fastest where discomfort exists. That's why difficult roles pay more. That's why boring businesses outperform flashy ones. Next, we'll show why income jumps happen after periods of silence and doubt. The quiet phase before income jumps. Income rarely rises gradually. It plateaus, feels stagnant, feels pointless. Then it jumps. That quiet phase is where most people quit. High earners stay. They understand that skills compound invisibly before they pay publicly. Cliffhanger. Next, we'll expose why most people quit right before it works. Movie camera, visual prompt flat, income line. Invisible pressure building. Sudden sharp rise. Mood, patience rewarded. Why most people quit too early. Quitting feels logical when feedback is delayed. But the market doesn't reward effort immediately. It rewards consistency over time. The mindset shift is this. I'm not failing. I'm early. Those who stay long enough get disproportionate rewards. Cliffhanger. Next, we'll reveal how environment silently shapes income. Your environment is pricing you. Your environment teaches you what's normal. Normal income. Normal stress. Normal ambition. Change the environment, income follows. High earners curate. Who they listen to. What they consume. What they tolerate. Not for motivation, but calibration. Cliffhanger. Next, we'll explain why standards, not goals, change income. Standards create income. Goals are optional. Standards are enforced. High earners don't ask, what do I want? They ask, what is acceptable? Low standards tolerate stagnation. High standards eliminate it. Income rises when standards rise. Next, we'll tie everything together into a repeatable income framework. The final shift. Here it is, the complete shift. Stop seeing income as something you chase. Start seeing it as something you attract through value. Money follows clarity. Opportunity follows competence. Freedom follows responsibility. Once this clicks, income becomes predictable. Not easy, not instant, but inevitable. Long pause. The question isn't, can you increase your income? It's, who do you need to become for that income to make sense? If this video shifted your mindset, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Remember, your mindset is your greatest asset. Protect it. Build it. Invest in it. This is Mindset Capital TV. We'll see you in the next one.